Years ago, I reached a point where I was feeling stuck and frustrated in my career as a nurse leader. So today I'm sharing my career advice to nurses who are feeling stuck in life. Before we dive in, hit subscribe and like. First thing, know that there's nothing wrong with you. You're not the only one, or you're not the first one to go through a phase where things do not seem to be moving, you feel yucky, you're no longer motivated when it comes to the work that you're doing. So we tend to take these experiences personal, and it just lengthens the amount of time we spend in it. It just magnifies the negative emotions we go through. So if you're judging yourself harshly because you are going through a phase of feeling stuck, I just want you to know that you're not the only one. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. Accept this experience as part of life and become eager to learn the lessons that this journey will teach you. Number 2, just stop, rest, and pray. I know back then for me, it started off as a voice that was telling me that, okay, it's time to move on. You've learned all that you can learn. You've had the experience that you were seeking, and now it's time to make a change. And the way that I had clarity when I was going through this phase was I actually took some time away. I remember taking a long drive, going to this park. It was like a reserve, in Adelaide, Australia. And I just spent hours in nature, just listening, connecting, praying. It helps if you're a Christian because then you can connect with a higher power and you can ask God for advice. I really learned a lot in terms of my faith, and I really grew in my faith. And I want to advise you to do the same. Just take the time to just rest, reset, rewire, pray, read your Bible, ask questions, be in nature, do those things that you know will energize and fill your cup. You don't want to approach this phase from a place of emptiness because it just makes things worse, but really approach it from a place of fullness. My third piece of advice is don't stay for too long there. Don't park there. Don't camp in that mountain of feeling stuck for too long. How much is too long? I cannot give you a time frame, but I would say don't spend more than 3 months, and even 3 months is a lot in that phase of feeling stuck because you might end up getting anxiety, depression, long periods of fatigue where you just lack motivation to do the things that you love to do. So set a time frame for yourself and say, you know what? We need to get out of this and figure this out. I'm going to give myself 4 weeks. I'm going to give myself 8 weeks. Or you might say I'm going to give myself 12 weeks. Whatever it is, don't park there for too long. Don't make this your permanent state. 4, what are your emotions and your thoughts telling you? You know what? We tend to run away and fear negative emotions and thoughts, but they're actually the way through it because there's no way over it, under it. You have to go through this experience. So when you're looking at your feelings, how you're feeling and what you're thinking, what are your thoughts and emotions telling you? So maybe for the past few months, you've been dreading getting out of bed, and years ago, or when you started off in your nursing career, you were so excited and passionate about the work that you're doing, and then now your emotions are like, no, we don't want to do this. We don't, and you've tried motivation, you've tried consistency and pushing through, but still it hasn't worked. So what are those emotions and what are those thoughts telling you? Maybe they're telling you that it's time for change. You've been doing this for too long. You've been doing the same thing for the past 8 years, 20 years, 30 years, and now it's time for change, and we just cannot keep on going the way that we're going. Or you're feeling like there has to be more to life than this. There has to be more to life than this. I know I'm capable of more than what I'm doing right now. So don't run away from those thoughts. Really tune in and listen deeply, like really tune in. I remember for me, when I went through that phase of feeling stuck, what was coming at me was, you need to create a career where you have more freedom and flexibility. You need to have a career where you can work from anywhere in the world and have full control over your schedule. those were the thoughts and the feelings that were coming to me. And instead of me burying them under a pillow or just ignoring them, I really leaned into what I was hearing and what my thoughts and feelings were telling me. And they actually became somewhat of a compass, because I now knew what I needed to change. They even brought some sort of clarity. So I want you to write down for yourself the thoughts that have been going through your mind and the emotions that you've been feeling of late. And if you like, share with me in the comments. I'd love to just start a discussion and hear what's going on for you. 5, use this as an opportunity to get to know yourself. Do you know the amount of adults who we come out of childhood, we go straight into our careers. So many times we really don't stop to think and get to know ourselves. We live our lives on a script based on what society, religion, our faith, our loved ones have told us, and we never stop to question. So what are you passionate about as an individual? What makes you tick? If you had all the money in the world and never needed to work a day in your life, what work would you do? Get to know that person that you have been running away from, and now you're feeling stuck because it's no longer possible to keep on running. You know you need to stop and face the music and just get to know the person that you are. I remember for me years back, I thought I wanted to study medicine, but after high school, I started nursing. And when I finished my nursing degree, I decided that I was going to write the medicine exam and that I was going to go into med school. But thankfully, at that time, I had so much emotional intelligence. I remember sitting down and I was doing a job where I was traveling a lot and I was away from home, and I had time and space to just sit by the beach and, just reflect. I love the ocean, the water. Many times I've seen in my life, God speaks to me when I'm just by the water and just sitting by the ocean in silence. So I just love the ocean so much. So I remember I was sitting by the water and I started journaling. I was like, okay, do I want to study medicine? Why do I want to study medicine? And to my surprise, the answer that came was like, no. And I started asking myself, why don't I want to study medicine? And I was like, okay, it's going to take up, 6 years of my time in med school, which is fine if I was passionate about it. But then my intentions for studying medicine are not right. And I started asking myself, what are my intentions? Why do I want to study medicine? And I started saying, because growing up, people have always said, I'm an intelligent person, so intelligent people study medicine. And growing up, I always thought to myself, I want to be important, I want to have status, so I'm going to be a doctor because of that. And I really searched within, and to me, those reasons were too shallow to go through a whole career of medicine. I was like, okay, well, that doesn't sound good. If I'm going to study medicine, I want to be passionate about helping people, healing people, transforming their lives and caring for them. And already I'm doing that within nursing. So I sat down and I made a very difficult choice. I decided that no, I'm not going to study medicine. I know that I'm going to advance my career. I didn't know at the time that I wanted to start a business. But whichever way, I decided that I wanted to live my life true to me, and I wanted to build a career that felt aligned with who I am, no matter which direction it took. So what about you? Who are you? Do you know that person? Have you ever taken the time to just connect with you, or have you been running away from you because you want to present this picture to the world of a person who's well-to-do, knows what they're doing and where they're going? You want status, you want other people to look at you and be proud of you, instead of you doing work that you will feel proud of. What does that girl, what does that boy, what does that woman, what does that man want? So really take time to just really reflect, and don't be afraid of the answers that will come out of that exercise, because these will become fuel and fire to your wings. They will give you direction for the next many, many years to come. And for me, that is what has come out of those moments of reflection. Get to know your personality. If you don't know what your personality type is, do the Neris Type Explorer test. And at this rate, Neris really needs to start paying me, because I'm always referring referring people there to do their personality tests because it's highly accurate and partly free. Like if you want the detailed report, you pay, I think, about $8 or $9, but that's okay. So get to know yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, and as you know your personality, ask yourself, whatever I'm currently doing, is it in alignment with the career that I want? Is this why I'm feeling stuck? Because I'm out of alignment. So look at your current career and the work that you do and ask yourself, am I in alignment based on what I'm learning about myself? Because maybe the reason why I'm feeling stuck is because I am swimming against the current of the water. I'm doing things that do not come naturally to me. Number 6, construct a plan for the next 30 days. Why 30 days? It's a short sprint, short enough for you to gain momentum and stick to it. And we want to start with your daily routine. I love the aspect of routine so much because it takes away like sometimes when we don't have routine in our lives, we just tend to get lost in the daily mundane of things, in our thoughts and emotions, and life gets away from us. And you know what? If you're sitting there saying, no, Lorraine, I'm not into daily routine. Yes, you are. Everyone is in some sort of routine. You probably wake up at some similar hour of the day. It doesn't have to be at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. Probably it's 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., right? And as soon as you wake up, you probably walk to the bathroom and brush your teeth. Is that not routine? You probably eat your dinner at the same time each day. You probably spend 3 hours on your phone every day. That is routine, right? So now what I want you to do is shine a light on how you're spending your time and your day, because we want to get you unstuck and moving and making momentum in a positive direction, right? So what you're going to do is decide on a time to wake up each day. Make sure you've got enough time to just spend with yourself before you start work. So if you normally leave the house at 8 a.m. for work and you need an hour to get ready, then wake up at 6 a.m. so that you have an hour to yourself. When you wake up, decide on 2 or 3 things you're going to do each day in order to fill your cup and energize you for the day ahead. So look back at your personality type and the things you're passionate about and the work you've already done, and start writing and reflecting on the career that you want to build. And don't even make this big and complicated, that sort of thing, but just spend maybe 5 minutes reflecting and saying, okay, this is the sort of career I want. This is the life I want to live. This is how I want to feel each day. I want to feel excited and happy. I knew for me, freedom was a big thing. I knew I wanted to have the freedom to work from anywhere in the world, and I wanted financial freedom. I didn't want to depend on a salary and go to the same job every day. So we're all different, but let it be about you and what it is you want to do. So spend some time every day for the next 30 days just journaling, reflecting. Also spend time, praying, reading your Bible, and also if you haven't been exercising, go and exercise. I try to move my body at least 4 to 5 days every week. I'll try and go for a run or for a long walk. It just helps me stay healthy, and it also just makes my thoughts, it just helps me decompress and just relax. And I find that it's great for my general well-being. So find pockets of time where you are in movement, you're journaling, you're reflecting, you're filling your cup. If you love reading a book, and if you had stopped reading, find a book that will just give you new ideas about where to go and what you need to do. I know for me, reading has really changed my life a lot. So adopt it as a habit. Spend 20 to 30 minutes each day reading. And you know what? I have to admit, I started reading Maya Angelou's book, The Heart of a Woman, the other day, and I could not stop. Even my prayer life suffered a little bit, but I thank God because I'm well connected, so I still got to pray. But I read this book, I think within 2-3 days I had finished this book, and it's amazing the things you learn from reading. I also like to read business books, like I just finished Good to Great. So Find books to read that will help get you out of the funk where you are. Back then, when I was feeling stuck, I read books like The Alchemist. I read Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Week and Dale Carnegie's book, How to Make Friends and Influence People. I just started reading a lot because I knew I needed to change my thinking and I needed to adapt in order to grow with the next level of my life that I was going into. So even get excited if you're feeling stuck, because it means it's time to grow to the next level. So that's exciting. So routine was one aspect of your plan. The next part of your plan is what you want to achieve. If you could have your ideal result in the next 30 days, what would it be? It might be speaking to your manager at work and asking for a change in departments. It might be quitting your job entirely and applying for a new opportunity. It might be starting that business that you've been hesitating to start for so many years. And if you're like me, it might be transitioning into Nest Consulting. And if that's you thinking of transitioning into Nest Consulting, book a consultation with me. My calendar is in the link, is in the comments and description below. Whatever it is, make a plan for the next 4 weeks and also write down the actions you're going to take and commit to the fact that yes, you will follow through on your plan. Number 7, take bold, consistent action on your plan. Be merciless and ruthless when it comes to taking action. No plan works if you don't do the work. And I know we are a generation of distraction where you'd rather be on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. There's so much. Or maybe when you try to concentrate, someone calls you on your phone. And you might be sitting there saying, but Lorraine, I don't have the time to take the action. Yes, you do have the time. If this is important enough to you, if you truly want to get unstuck, then yes, this is a priority. You do have the time. When you come back from work in the evenings, instead of sitting down and tuning into Netflix, sit down and tune into your plan. Change your life. Use those evenings to shift how your career has been going. And you know what? This is what I suggest. I used to waste a lot of time in the evenings because I'm like, oh, I need some fluidity and some freedom. I don't want to schedule everything, after work. Now I started scheduling my evening times, and it's easier for me to wake up in the morning and implement my morning routine, because so many people are all about morning routine and amazing morning routine. No, how are you finishing your day and your evening? And when it comes to routines, by the way, I just want to say, I'm not sitting here saying spend all this time meditating, doing all these routines. No, I want you to spend the most time doing the work, because I wasted years doing the whole morning routine thing, 10-step morning routine. Now, I don't care about that. I focus on the basics. My prayer life, movement, journaling, planning, everything else is work, right? So work the plan, work it. Don't be afraid of doing the work. Switch off the TV, go to a different area. The first few days are going to be challenging. Your mind will be screaming. Turn off notifications on your phone. Once you do it the first day, it gets easier and easier and easier. Become that man, become that woman who takes action and actually achieves your goals and actually becomes unstuck. Break that cycle of feeling stuck. You have what it takes. I don't even know you, but I believe in you. You've got what it takes. You can do this. So take that consistent action and do not waver. Continue. And to add fuel to the fire, on the weekends, sit down and reflect on the week, and on Sunday, plan ahead for the week. So for me, my day is already planned before I even start the day. And I want you to do the same. When I do not make a plan, things just fall through the cracks. And if things do fall through the cracks, don't be that, all or nothing kind of person. And I used to be this person who'd be like, oh, I have failed to wake up at 6 a.m. on Thursday, so I'm going to give up. No, don't give up. Wake up at 6 a.m. on Friday, go to bed early, turn off those notifications, reduce your time on social media, because truly social media is just destroying our lives and stealing our time. But I don't want to go down the social media rabbit hole. Take consistent action. My 8th piece of advice is ask for help. I know that you might feel as if asking you for help makes you appear weak, but in order for you to achieve big goals and become unstuck, you're going to need the help of other people. So ask for help at work where you're struggling, ask for help from people who've done it before. Ask your family for help, ask them for advice, ask them what they think about what you're going through. Do not be ashamed, embarrassed, or afraid of asking for help. Over the years, I've become better and better at asking my family for help, and I thank God I'm very close to my sisters and my mom. But even if you're not close, and my brother, and my extended family. But even if you're not close, to your loved ones, it's okay. I'm sure there's a friend who is willing to help you. And don't be afraid to tell them that you're struggling as well. Don't struggle on your own. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't personalize it, but tell them that, you know what, I'm not okay. My little sister, like my youngest sister, she has this thing where she'll just call you and say, are you okay? It's like, she's like, I just need to know. I just want to make sure that you're okay. So now sometimes I also do it where I call her and I say to her, are you okay? So ask for help. It's okay to not be okay. In order for you to move to this next phase and the next level of your life, you're going to need extra resources than the ones you already do. Number 9, I love this one. Celebrate small wins. How many times do we wait for the big wins in order for us to celebrate? No, celebrate the small wins and the small momentum that you've been making and the steps you've been taking in order for you to become unstuck. I am totally cheering you on and celebrating you right here. And do share with me in the comments how your routine and how your plan is going, and reach out if you need help. Lastly, number 10, live your life authentically. Don't try to live someone else's life. This is your journey. On it, be real. People love people who are real, So don't try to be this person that you're not. Don't make decisions that are out of alignment and that are not true to you. Disappoint people if you have to. It's okay. People who love you will still love you even if you disappoint them. And the funny thing in life, when you have the courage to make decisions, even if you know that those decisions are against the advice of those who love you, over time, as you start progressing and changing your life, those people will come and tell you, you know what? I'm happy you did what you did. I love you. I accept you. I appreciate you. So I'm not a fan of the burn bridges. If they don't agree with you, then they don't like you. Like, I don't subscribe to that toxic gospel. It's okay for people who love you to disagree with you. Okay, you don't have to hate them or think that they hate you and they don't like you. No, it's not that deep. So live your life authentically. Don't be afraid to make decisions that are aligned with the person that you're becoming, and say yes to that person. If you haven't done so, hit subscribe. And if you got value, hit that like button. And if you are an experienced nurse leader who is thinking of transitioning to nurse consulting so that you can transform your nursing experience into income whilst making a bigger impact, then book a free consultation with me. My calendar is in the comments below.